About 80,000 people are being evacuated in Southern California as wildfires fueled by power winds spread, now impacting homes and businesses in the state. Universal Studios Hollywood closing today due to the extreme conditions. So how can homeowners and business owners protect themselves if impacted by a wildfire? Joining me now, we've got Karl Susman, who is the president of Susman Insurance Services. Karl, you're actually evacuated currently due to the Palisades Fire. Just tell us about what you're seeing right now.
Well, it's unprecedented, and it's unbelievable how many fires we actually have going on. We have the Palisades Fire, which is just under 3,000 acres burned. The Hearst Fire, another 500 acres, which is just a little bit further to the north. The East Eaton Fire, which is another 400 acres. The Woodley Fire. There are literally fires burning in almost every corner of Southern California, and people are being evacuated left and right.
And so how is fire incorporated into most homeowners' insurance policies? What do people who may be impacted need to know?
Well, fortunately, most homeowners' insurance policies, the primary peril, literally the main part of the homeowner's policy is fire coverage. So it would be very unusual to have a homeowner's insurance or a condominium owner's policy or even a renter's insurance policy and not have fire coverage as part of that policy.
So what can people do if they are not properly insured and if they suffer damage from a fire, which we're seeing some live images of right now? It's about 8:17 a.m. on the West Coast.
Well, what happens when there's an active event like this, insurance companies will put out an immediate bulletin that says you cannot make changes to your policy while there's an active wildfire in progress. So if you don't have efficient or sufficient coverage right now, probably too late to make any specific changes to your policy. You can try, but most carriers are not going to permit that.
What about the claims filing process after an incident happens and how insured homeowners should go about this?
Well, in the event that there's any type of a loss or even potential loss, the first thing you want to do is reach out to your insurance agent, your insurance broker, or directly to the insurance company, just depending on where you purchased your policy, and file the claim. There is no harm in filing a claim when there are these types of catastrophes because the insurance carriers are expecting them and they're going to be putting you in a queue basically for your claim. So the sooner you file your claim, the better. And remember, even if you don't know for sure, there might be significant smoke damage to your home. A lot of policies will provide coverage for that as well. So it makes sense to get that claim started right away.
All right, something more mobile, however, you have to do the calculus around. What about if your car is destroyed in a fire?
Right. Automobiles are covered under automobile insurance policies. Even if they're damaged in a wildfire like this, we're thinking homes, which makes sense. But in the event that your vehicle is damaged, it might be damaged from the actual fire. It might be damaged because emergency vehicles had to literally move the vehicle out of the way. That happened in the Pacific Palisades. They had to literally come through and bulldoze vehicles out of the way because there were people that were trying to evacuate. They got out of their cars and were literally running, and the road was blocked. So if your vehicle is damaged at all, you're going to be filing a claim with your automobile insurance company, and you're going to look for comprehensive coverage. That's the coverage that would come into play in the event of a loss to your vehicle.
What is the documentation that you need to have in order to make sure that while you're filing your claim, you essentially have all of the details that are necessary for your insurer?
You know, if you were lucky enough to get out and you brought your documents with you, you have all of your information, then you're really just going to want to start the process. Let them know who you are, your policy number, and that you've had to evacuate and you're standing by. That's usually good enough to get the ball rolling. Get assigned a claim number. Perhaps you'll get a call back from a claims adjuster, and then you can just touch base and say, I'm waiting to see. I don't know exactly where we are at this point, but we're hopeful. We don't really know. But if you don't have that information, again, agents and brokers are working. This is what we're here for, right? I mean, this is where we have to really step up. You should be able to call them, text them, email them, and say, hey, I want to be sure that I have my policy information. Can you email it to me? They can usually send you a PDF file so you actually have the policy and you can have some comfort having that on hand.
What is the early evidence that you should go about gathering in order to make that claims process go smoother as well, knowing that there is going to be a claims adjuster that comes out, does their due diligence as well, of course?
Well, what I always tell people to do in general is have some videos and pictures from your home. And if obviously you've already been evacuated, you can't do that. But if you have not yet, just walk around the house with your camera, right? Just video everything, because when you leave, it's hard to remember what's in every nook and cranny, right? We live there. We don't notice these things. Take pictures in every room, or just walk around with your phone recording video and have that on hand, because in the event of a loss, if the worst happens, you want to be able to have something as recent as possible to be able to see what it is that was in your home.
Carl, thanks so much for the time, and our thoughts are with you as well as you are navigating this yourself. Please check back in with us for sure. We would love to get some more of the insights and details out to our viewers also.
Will do. Thank you.